As you probably know, we've got a Witcher 4 trailer that just popped up recently, and as we'll discuss in this video, the answers to some of them hopefully, it leaves us with way too many questions and not a lot of answers. So I want to dive in this video a lot of the controversy that's sprung up around this trailer and the future of the games, because there are a lot of questions, there are a lot of fans that are worried for the franchise, there are a lot of fans that are confused about the decisions that they're making in this new game, and there are a lot of people that are concerned with the direction that, as we'll discuss very soon, most likely is where CD Projekt Red will be taking this game, just based off of what we've seen from other companies and games around us, as these patterns very rarely ever lie or mislead us. So I want to tackle big questions like, is it possible, according to the books and the actual lore, for a female to become a Witcher, even though she's also an adult? But hey, we'll see. We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. And guys, I hate to say it, but let's kick Season 4 off with an amazing video. Let's go. This is pretty much everything you need to know about the controversy surrounding The Witcher 4, and hopefully as many answers as I can sneak in there. Let's go. So just to be absolutely clear, because I want to come back to this throughout the video, and especially at the end, so I can just clear everything up and make my points absolutely known, so stick around before you make comments and all that stuff, yada yada yada. But The Witcher 4 is still very early in development. I mean, all we've got on the game, and we're blessed to have it, is a like 6-minute long cinematic trailer, which is awesome. We're seeing what we're walking into, but still there's not much else known about the game other than what we're seeing in the trailer, the new protagonist, which a lot of controversy has sprung up around, but we'll get to that soon. Everything looks good in development so far. I mean, they're using Unreal Engine 5 instead of CD Projekt's Red's own Red Engine, but hey, and guys, we don't have a release date out yet. Some people say it's going to be 2026, so next year, to 2027, but I'm thinking more of like 3 to 5, maybe even 6 years from now. We have a little bit of waiting to do. Now, everything looks good in development, but I want to ask a question. Can we trust CD Projekt Red? After Cyberpunk 2077, which is a fail and then success story, as I mentioned in a couple of my other videos on the subject, though they've brought Cyberpunk 2077 back to life with all these DLCs and extra story and, you know, fixing the quality of the game to the most part, it hurt our trust for this company. Cyberpunk had been in development for like 12 years. I think it only had 7 real years of actual serious development, but nevertheless, can we trust CD Projekt Red after that? I mean, we didn't hear anything about, you know, problems behind the scenes until way later on, so I know it's early to say that everything looks good in the development of The Witcher 4, as we will not hear about this stuff until much later on, possible delays or whatnot. Again, I think it's a very valid question. Can we trust CD Projekt Red after what they did with our trust in Cyberpunk 2077, something that I literally grew up watching this cinematic trailer for? So, can we trust them? They've made other games before. They've made a couple mistakes here and there that are, you know, maybe possibly the biggest video game fail in the entire planet, but hey. And once again, this will be one of the many questions that'll be answered with time, as we just don't know so much about this game, and this specifically, the answers to this will be dug up as we get much closer to development, so we got some time. But guys, I think it's an understandable question. Can we trust them? So hey. So in the Witcher 4 trailer, one of the biggest things that people noticed was that Ciri, one of the protagonists from The Witcher 3, is a Witcher. Now this raises a lot of questions, because anybody who's been in the lore or knows the lore knows that females can't be Witchers. Now, there's a lot that the books say on this. While they never say it's impossible for females to become Witchers, they do say that many females have tried, but none of them have lived through the Trial of Grasses, which is a week-long process of turning people, boys, into Witchers. Now, even with boys or males, they still have like a 30% chance of actual survival through the Trial of Grasses. Nevertheless, can a female, let alone an adult, go through the Trial of Grasses? Or however, again, another question we just don't have the answer to. Did she go through the Trial of Grasses? How is she a Witcher? I don't know. Now, to be absolutely fair, she does have the Elder Blood, which is, to put it super simply, it's elf blood. We know that based off of every test that's taken place so far on females, the Trial of Grasses, before, they have a 100% chance of death. And by death, I mean pretty immediately. I mean, it's very early on that they just all die. But guys, I want to tackle another point. Look at Ciri in this trailer. I mean, throughout the trailer, she's not the, you know, still serious and still ready to fight Ciri that we know from Witcher 3. She's Geralt 2.0, but a female. That's the vibe I'm getting from this game, and it leads me to a lot of worry, which I'll get to in a second, but this was Ciri from the other game. Yes, she had her moments of independence and strength and all the qualities out there, but she still had a heart, you know what I mean? And the heart was most of who she was. I mean, it was so important to her character that she wasn't just this. I mean, let's be fair, this doesn't seem like Ciri to me. And I understand that, look, maybe the trial of grasses or whatever the heck she did to magically become a witcher, I'm not saying that that didn't have her toll on her, but goodness gracious, this isn't Ciri. This isn't the character we know. Now, that alone is going to alienate some people or some fans from this game, because there are some pretty big, you know, fans for Ciri. She was a major part of Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, and now she's this. Now, this is a problem that CD Projekt Red, I would assume if they're intelligent, know that they're going to face with this new game, a new protagonist, a new direction that they're taking it, is that people, a lot of people, not all, a lot of people play the Witcher games for Geralt. They are there to play Geralt, and they are there to kill people as Geralt and just do that. That's where the story takes place. That's it. This is going to alienate a lot of the fans in this game because they're there for Geralt. Now, all of that aside, which I know that's specific, but this Ciri, I'm doing air quotes right now, this Ciri doesn't even strike us as Ciri. She doesn't feel the same. This feels just like a, you know, female version of Geralt who's gotta be better in every way. This doesn't seem like the Witcher that we know in a whole bunch of different levels. No Geralt, no Ciri, air quotes again. To sum it all up, The Witcher 4 is basically The Witcher games, but in a completely new direction, and that direction very likely isn't going to strike a chord with the people who have been playing since Witcher 1, since Witcher 2, since Witcher 3. It's just not going to, because it's a completely different game. Now, this all leads into my next point. I'm going to ask a question. Does female lead characters or female-led games mean or equal DEI, woke, Sweet Baby Inc. games? No, they do not. There are tons of examples of female-led games and video games that were amazing, and that the quality of playing them was fun, the character was amazing, and it was just an amazing story, and it wasn't affected by anything. It was just a good game. Plenty of examples, some that I even grew up on. But when's the last time we actually saw one of those? Let's be absolutely honest here. I think the perfect example of a female-led character these days, which always has Sweet Baby Inc., which I'll get to in a second, or some other DEI consultant group mingling in the story and the company and the characters, I believe the perfect example of a female-led game made these days is Flintlock Siege of Dawn, which is a game I have a decent amount of hours on. I've actually played a lot of it, and as I've mentioned in a recent video, I forget which one, I want to play and enjoy the game, but I just can't because of the main character, the woman that I'm playing as. And it's not because she's a woman, and it's not because of any other thing you could, character design, costume, voice, or anything. Nor Vanek's the main character's entire personality is welded together, is fabricated on this idea that she is better than everyone. Like, every single voice line, every interaction, everything about her has got to be, I'm a woman and I'm better than everything. And it gets annoying. I don't want to play a video game that's all about that. And it's not just her saying it, it's the characters around her just building this up. Perfect example of this would be another motorcycle. Wow. A perfect example of this would be her father figure. I forget his name, but he's this white guy who sits at the camp. He's kind of older. I think he lost a leg, so he just sits at camp all day. But he used to do some fighting on his own. I mean, he's the one that raised Nor Vanek on the battlefield, and I mean, everything she knows was taught by this guy. Supposedly, every single voice line between these two, on both sides, Nor Vanek and her dad, basically, are all about, Nor Vanek, you're better than me. You're all this. Guys, it gets annoying, and not only does it just affect the entire game, but it's in the game. It's in the bones of the game. It is welded into the story, into the world, into the character, into the lore. This isn't something I can just turn off by turning off subtitles or turning the volume down. This is the game. It's all about her. And though I want to enjoy the mechanics and the parkour system, and I like the fox thing guy, he's kind of cool, that god, whatever. Though I like it and the story seems interesting and I want to explore it more, I just can't because the gameplay, what I am doing the entire game, is loaded with these ideas that I just don't want to. I'm playing a video game, guys. I don't want to have this stuff in a video game. Perfect example of a female-led video game is that. That's kind of why I worry for GTA 6, but to be absolutely fair, that's very small worry of mine compared to some of the other stuff I talked about in the video. But guys, CD Projekt Red, to help this point along, has already come out and said that they used DEI consultants in many of their video games. The Witcher 4, I don't have much hope for not getting at least 1 or 2 DEI consultants mingling in the story and the cast and the characters and all that stuff anyway. So again, this all leads me to worry about The Witcher 4 because, guys, The Witcher means something to me. I genuinely love The Witcher. I care about it because I basically grew up on it. I remember the games being around me all the freaking time. I love The Witcher. Now, you might be asking, what's the problem with Nor Vanek? What's the problem with playing a game as a character who's just the best at everything and is amazing? It's a Mary Sue, let's be honest. I think the newer Star Wars sequels, or whatever the heck you want to call them, I think they'd be a lot better if Rey wasn't a Mary Sue and didn't just get everything handed to her. Like force healing, she can just now force heal out of nowhere. Do you know how powerful that would have been if Luke Skywalker could have saved his dad and they could have ruled? Seriously, Star Wars. A Mary Sue, by definition, is not an interesting character. We play games for a struggle in a character that is then learned or overcome or grown out of over the story and the conflict and the struggle of the story. So by the end, you play as someone who's stronger than they were before at the beginning. That's an amazing story. That's something that relates to us because we're, I don't know, human, and that's literally life every day for us. We don't have everything down, and we strive to work for it, right? A Mary Sue just has everything given to her, or him in some cases. Nor Vanek has all the power. Story-wise, I'm not talking about gameplay because my gameplay sucks. Story-wise, Nor Vanek has just the best skills in the combat field. I mean, she's like a high-ranking officer. I mean, she's just amazing. She is the best at everything. Rey is just amazing. She can just make up force healing, and then she can just, I don't know, be the best at using force. And I mean, it took Luke Skywalker 3 freaking movies to learn this stuff, and then she can just, oh my god. A Mary Sue is not a good character, and a Mary Sue is exactly what we've been getting from every female-led video game for the last several years. And it's getting annoying, guys. I don't want to play this. I have no problem playing as a female in a video game. I have no problem playing a female-led video game, as long as it's a good video game. I want to play great games. I don't know about you guys, but I want to play great games. You see what I did there? Yeah. Now, again, I could be absolutely wrong about all of this, to be 100% honest, and again, clear, I want to drill this in. The Witcher 4 is still very early in development. There's still so much we don't know about it. You know, how did Ciri become a Witcher? Did she go through the trial of grasses? How did she survive? How did she defy everything that science and tests, dozens of tests laid out in the past? How did she defy all of that? Was it the Elder Blood? Is that just the golden key to everything? Mary Sue? Alright, there we go. I could also be wrong about the Mary Sue. You know, Projekt Red could be one of the first companies to actually pull off a good female character that you play as. If they do it, I will be spending the rest of this year, I'll be spending the rest of this decade, all the way until 2030, praising them. That I promise, alright? That I promise. If they actually do it, though. It's just like my last couple videos on Avowed and GTA 6 and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Guys, we are looking at patterns that have been laid out by modern AAA companies and other companies, like for the last decade or so, and we are seeing that, look, as soon as we see this in development, as soon as we see this in the story, as soon as we see this, we already know that this is the next step, this is the next step, and then I can safely infer that Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to suck, that GTA 6 might have some struggles, sales-wise not at all, and that Avowed is going to struggle. So again, I could be wrong about all of this, but again, here are the patterns. We're looking at them. We've seen them many times before over the last, I don't know, decade plus. We've seen them all before, and this is exactly what we've been getting over and over and over again. So I think it's safe to say that we're just not going to continue falling for the same tricks. Maybe this time will be amazing. I hope it is. I genuinely hope The Witcher 4 is just an amazing game, that Ciri as the Witcher, the main character, whatever the heck she is just amazing. It's the best game in the series yet. I love The Witcher. I want it to work out, but we'll see, guys. I don't know. For the whole woke and DEI stuff, again, we already know that Projekt Red has come clean and said that, yeah, we use them for our games. So I really don't see any problem for saying that Sweet Baby Inc. and other groups are associated with this game and already mingling with it. But hey, we'll see. And guys, I mean, just look at this. Does this really look like the Ciri we know from Witcher 3? Again, The Witcher 3 Ciri had her moments of independent and strong and being able to be capable and take care of herself. But does this seem like Ciri? Does this seem like the character we used to know? Does this seem like The Witcher we know? I don't know, guys, we'll see. Now, on another note, Season 4 just dropped. I am so excited. I thank you guys so much for the support along the way. Season 4 is here. I have a new direction for the channel. I have new plans. Again, it's all community based. It is all community based, so you guys, you're voting on the polls that I make, your comments in the videos, your arguments, discussions, debates, all of it. I love them, and I thank you so much for them because I have enjoyed this journey so much. So Season 4, really quickly, what's changed? I'll give you a rundown. It's on my community page. Just check that out if you have the time. Melina has decided to step back off of the screen and then help behind the scenes with editing and recording like she's doing right now. So basically, Selena has stepped up, so some things are changing. It's all super exciting. I'm developing a PGG lore that's actually coming up, guys. So more on that soon. There's actually so much I'm excited about. But guys, this is going to be a ride I don't think you're going to regret taking. It is going to be so much fun. I thank you guys for the support along the way. Guys, this is our channel. This is our group. This is our community. We're building something here. Speaking of community, I want to hear you guys in the comments. I want to hear all about what you think of the video. You know, what do you think of my thoughts of the video? What do you think about the direction that they could go in? What are you worried for? What are you happy about? I want to know. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about Season 4? I want to hear your thoughts. What are suggestions for future videos? I want to hear from you guys. I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And remember, life is short. Play great games. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it's not looking good for Avowed. I think it's safe to say that there'd be a lot of pressure on a game that's been hyped up to be the next Skyrim, but this almost looks like they're trying to fail at this point. From hiring blatant racist nut jobs to design their game, who even got Microsoft scrambling to defend themselves, to buying into the whole